Hey guys, it's Drea. So today I have a regrets video for you. This was prompted by a couple things. First of all, I recently did a video all about my current favorites from the drugstore. There's been so much great stuff from the drugstore recently that I wanted to put it all in a video. And while I was going through my collection, reminding myself of what I loved, I also found a bunch of stuff I don't love. And recently I did a couple first impressions videos where I wasn't impressed by a couple things, and it turns out most of it is from the drugstore. Now, you guys know I love all makeup. I don't discriminate. I don't put high end above drugstore. There's a lot of things from the drugstore I love more than high end, but it just happened that a lot of my recent fails have come from the drugstore. So as always, if you own this stuff and it works for you, I am truly happy for you, because that means that you didn't waste your money. You found something you love, and that's amazing. But this stuff just didn't work for me, and I'll tell you why. So the first thing is this. This is from Covergirl. It's the Vitalist Healthy Glow Cream Highlighter. I think they might have put this out under the Katy Perry branding recently. I remember seeing something like this with her line, but this is under the new Vitalist Healthy Glow branding. So this is in shade number 2. I used this recently in a First Impressions video, and you could see in that video, I put it on my skin with a brush and with my finger, and in either case, it didn't show up. It barely does anything. I could see this working maybe on somebody who's really dry skin, where you don't need to powder your skin, because us oily skin people, we know we have to powder our skin. But if you're dry skin and you can get away with that, this could work for you for a super, super subtle highlight. I can't even barely see it on my hands anymore, but that is the only way I think this product would work. If you're oily skin, I would say just avoid it altogether, because once you powder over top this, it's not going to show up at all, and putting this on top of powder, it just gets gummy and gross. So for me, that was a huge fail. The next thing that's pretty new as well is from Hard Candy. This is the Sheer Envy Mattifying Setting Spray. So it says right on it that it is supposed to control oil and minimize pores, and also 12-hour long wear and hydration. I don't appreciate when companies try to say they can do it all, when we all know hydrating and mattifying are completely different things. How are you going to do both in one bottle? So I just don't appreciate that, for one thing. The second thing is, this just doesn't do anything, in my opinion. I'm super oily. I test a lot of stuff that is meant specifically for oily skin people to see if it's going to work. And to me, this just does nothing. This doesn't make my makeup last longer. It doesn't make me more matte at all. It really just does nothing. They do have a glow version of this with a pink cap, which I also own, but it's not in front of me right now, that smells like roses. And that one I would say is really, really lovely if you're looking for hydration and to be glowy. But this one just does nothing, so not a fan. I talked about this recently in a monthly fails video, but I wanted to bring it up again in this video in case you missed that. So this is the Maybelline Master Camo by Face Studio. This is in the shade 50 Apricot. It says right on it that it's for light to medium skin tones. Let me tell you, I have super dark circles. I have to correct them. Concealer doesn't do enough for me. I have to color correct and then conceal my dark circles because they are intense. No, this is just no. This is going to be great if you have deep skin tones, but for anybody with light to medium skin, no. That's why I'm putting it in this fails, because I don't want to say it's a fail for everybody, but it's definitely a fail for what it is intending to be, for what it is saying it is. It is not for light to medium skin tones. So color correcting, just in case you're not really aware of how you color correct dark circles, because not everybody has them, is what you're doing is you're canceling out the darkness of the circle with the orange or peachiness of the corrector. So you're canceling one color with the opposite color on the color wheel, and that kind of gives you a neutral base. So when you get the wrong shade, like an orange for that dark circle, all you're doing is putting orange cream on your skin. So you're just making your skin orange. It's way too dark for light to medium skin tones. Like I said, it would probably be really, really good on deep medium to deep skin tones. So NYX just came out with a whole slew of new pen type eyeliners. I didn't pick up a ton of them. I just picked up this one because this one was interesting to me. This is called That's the Point, and basically it looks like a Sharpie. It seriously just looks like a Sharpie marker. It's got that pointed edge You could see it right there. This kind of tip would be fine if it was always fully saturated, but it isn't. So what happens is you start putting on your eyeliner and you get that saturation of pigment right where you put it down, and then it starts getting less and less product. So it starts skipping, it starts having not as deep of a black line. Like it just really, that's why I don't appreciate felt tip eyeliners to begin with. At least with brush tip ones, you can kind of shake it and more product will come down. But with felt tip, you definitely have to store it upside down so that it's always fully saturated. But as soon as you start using it, unless you're always using it like from this angle, it's gonna start like losing that saturation. So, and I know not everybody can draw a perfect wing eyeliner going like this. So the other thing I found with this that I don't appreciate is when I'm putting this on and I do my little line here first and then I come backwards to draw the wing, once I touch this pen down to product that is already there, it drags that product away. So you're never getting that full opacity on your lid. And I didn't like it. I am mad that I wasted my money on that one. The next thing, I don't want to say it's like a terrible product, but it's just not for me, and I want to just kind of mention it quickly. So this is from ColourPop. It's the pressed powder highlighter that they just came out with. Number one thing, this is just tiny, but it bugs me, is that these are generic packages, so it doesn't actually say the shade name. It doesn't even say that it's a highlighter. It has highlighter and bronzer on here, so they obviously use these stickers and this packaging for their bronzer as well. That's not going to bother everybody, but I thought I would mention it. Otherwise, the packaging is really nice. It's sleek, it's cute, I like the branding, I like that it's white, it's got a big mirror, that's all really nice. But this product in here, this is the shade Here Kitty Kitty. It's just really, really subtle. Like for me, it's just too subtle, and I just don't appreciate a super subtle highlight. And you know, that's a finger swatch. As soon as you use a brush and it's like blended out, it's even less than that, you know? So for me, it's just like kind of a wah-wah kind of thing. I don't know what their other shades are like, if they're more intense, but you know, on the website, they give you swatches, and all their swatches look super intense, so you can't always go by the company swatches, unfortunately. I don't think I'm going to be trying any new ones from them. I do love a lot of products from them, but that one just was kind of a miss for me. My foot is getting pins and needles. Why? Why? Next thing, I was so excited to try this because we don't get this brand here in Canada, at least for makeup, but it's the Neutrogena Nourishing Longwear Makeup. Now, I really wanted to try a foundation from Neutrogena. This one says on it longwear. That to me was like, yes, give me some longwear. And it has SPF 20 in it, which is great. Right on the bottle, it does say that it's going to be lightweight, natural looking coverage. So it doesn't specify light, medium, or full. It just says natural looking coverage. It is definitely, you're not going to get more than medium coverage out of this. One layer is going to be light, 2 layers are going to be medium. I can't fault the foundation for not being like a full coverage foundation when it definitely doesn't say that it is. But the thing I don't like is that it's very thick for a natural coverage foundation. The consistency of this is not quite a mousse, but it's very, very thick. Like for a natural looking foundation, I'm thinking more like my Smashbox hydrating foundation, which is definitely lightweight, feels nice, and like it just feels nice on the skin. Whereas this kind of feels like your skin is getting a little bit heavy with product, and yet you still don't have a ton of coverage. So if you're looking for like a full coverage, sometimes you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of a thick consistency, but I don't expect that in a lightweight or like a natural coverage type product. The other thing is this definitely settles into my lines, it settles into my pores. Very few of my foundations do that, so when it happens, I notice it and I don't like it. So I'm kind of disappointed about this. I think I can probably get away with using this up though. Like I'm not gonna fully get rid of it. I can probably mix it with some other foundations because I did try that a few times and it works okay as a mixing foundation. So, you know, I could definitely still use it. But I have a foundation here that I regret buying that I bet you I'm gonna get some heat over. Like I think there's probably gonna be some people out there who are not gonna like that I don't like this. But this Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation, I am not a fan of this at all. So I bought this a few months ago. First I bought it in shade 03, which is light beige, which is way too dark. And then I bought it in shade 02, which is natural, which is still way too dark. So I have to mix it with like a white mixer. I use the Body Shop one. I don't want to say that's the reason for it to be a fail. It definitely isn't. There's a lot of skin tones that are underrepresented in the makeup industry, and I think this foundation range definitely does cater to medium to deeper skin tones, which is great. I know they have since come out with a 00 shade. They also have 01. I don't know why I didn't get that one. Anyway, that's not why this is a fail for me. I don't like this because it is super heavy on the skin and it makes my skin feel like it's being suffocated. So this is definitely like a full coverage foundation, but it is definitely like a cakey coverage foundation on me personally. I have a lot of foundations where my oil will come through, but what happens is I just kind of look kind of glowy until I'm able to blot and repowder. This one just looks cakey, oily, greasy. It just makes my skin look yuck, and I don't like it. So if it works for you, like I said, I'm really happy, but it does not work for me. I wanted to love these. I've owned these for a long time, and I've resisted putting them in previous regrets videos because I wanted so badly to love them, but I just have to admit that I do not like these. These are from NYX. These are the Lip Lingerie line. So NYX does some really, really great lip products. They have tons of different kinds of lip products. I'm sure you know they have tons of different bullet lipsticks, lots of different liquid lipstick formulas. I just don't understand why they don't use their really nice liquid suede formula and do shades in this line. I don't understand it, because this line is all about very nude shades. Like, they're all different variations on nudes, and I think it's all about being like naked. That's why it's called the Lip Lingerie. So this is a really, really kind of weird formula. It's slightly moussey but slightly liquidy at the same time. I find that it separates really easily, so this one I definitely have to kind of mix it first because it already kind of separates, and it gets oily in some parts and then it gets thick in other parts. Like up here is kind of thinner, down here is kind of thicker, and it's always been like that, so it's not like it's gone bad. This has been like that since I bought it. It gets very weirdly thick in some areas and crumbles off your lips in some areas, and I just don't appreciate the formula on it at all. It's definitely not like an all-day type liquid lipstick. It definitely doesn't last all day. I really wanted to love this color. It's called Exotique, but again, I don't know if you can see that. Like, it is liquidy on this area here and then super thick over here. It's super patchy, it's gross, it crumbles, I don't like it. This next one I got from Winners, which is the exact same company as TJ Maxx. They just call it something different here in Canada. So I know I've seen this brand there over and over and over, so I thought I'd give it a mention here. This is from Measurable Difference. This is the Posh Matte Liquid Lipstick, long wearing matte lipstick. This is in the shade called Fake ID, and I wanted to love this. It is such a gorgeous color. It actually goes on really nice. Like, it applies really, really nice, but it crumbles like nobody's business after a super short amount of time. Like less than an hour, this was crumbling off my lips. So that was a huge disappointment because I really love that shade. It is so, so, so pretty. But I thought I would give that a mention. It's only like $5, but still, it's a waste of $5. I thought I'd give it a mention since I know I still see it sold in those types of stores. And the other thing was also from Winners. This is from the brand Max Studio. It's the Contour Face Kit. And again, this was $4.99. So what do you expect? But, you know, it's $4.99 I spent, now you don't have to. So this is a contour palette. Not much of a palette, is it? I mean, we've got highlight, contour, bronzer, and blush. So these products are over pigmented and unblendable, and that is always a very bad mix. Over pigmented and unblendable don't go together. Here's the blush, here's the bronzer, and here's the highlight. So the blush, I think, is a really, really deep color, but it's not very easily blendable. That's always a problem. The bronzer would be an okay shade for bronzer, except it's got a lot of sparkle in it and it's very, very powdery, so it kind of goes everywhere. The contour shades, I think, are not bad. Like, they are actually fairly usable depending on your skin tone. I actually didn't mind the contour shades at all, and the brush is just an absolute joke. Like, I'm sure nobody in their right mind would want to use that brush. So, you know, like I said, it's only $5, but still it's $5 that I wish I had in my pocket and not in the form of a crappy contour kit. I don't want to seem like I'm bagging on NYX in this video because this is going to be the third NYX product, but I think that's really just because NYX has so many products out there and I test a lot of them. I love tons of NYX products, trust me. There's some that are total holy grails to me, but it just happens that I've tested a few here I don't like. So this one here is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe. I had always heard this was a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. The spoolie part definitely is not a dupe. It's not quite as soft, and I don't know, it's not as good quality. And this side here, the Micro Brow Pencil, I would say, yeah, it's exactly the same shape, it's the same type, but this literally doesn't do anything. Like, it really barely shows up at all. And it's super hard, like it doesn't blend. I just can't get this to do anything for me. It gets dark in some areas and light in other areas because what's happening is the actual product is kind of like breaking off as we go because it's super dry. I don't know, I can't with this. I just don't understand it. I thought I was gonna be super impressed because so many people loved it, but for me, this just is an absolute atrocity and I won't even be able to use it up. So I don't know. Did I get a dud on this one? You guys let me know. Should I try it in a different color maybe? But I just don't even like the formula. It's so dry. So very last product, I actually didn't even intend on putting this in here, except I used this today and I absolutely hate it. This is the Revlon Precision Lash Adhesive. I had heard such good things about this from different YouTubers. It has a good little wand. I like wands like this where you can easily apply the glue to the lashes. That's all fine and good. But what happens is because it's a clear glue, it dries blue. Like, you know, some of those lash glues that are supposed to be clear, they actually dry kind of this translucent blue shade, and it's really weird. So what I do to combat that is I just go over top of the glue with my liquid liner to camouflage it, and that's okay. But this takes forever to dry. Like, this is the longest drying, or even get tacky, like the longest drying glue that I have ever tried. So I put on my lashes, finished doing my makeup, went to start recording this video, and I'm looking in the viewfinder going, I can see like white in my lash line. What's going on? Upon closer inspection, it's still wet. And that was like a span of at least 10 minutes. So I just don't get it. So if you are on the go and you need your lashes to like dry in a reasonable amount of time, this is not going to do it. And also it just kept popping up on the ends of my lashes. So I just don't appreciate that. Not a fan. So that's it for my regrets today. If you do own any of this stuff and you find that it's amazing, or you found tips and tricks, you know, to make it work, let me know in the comments below. I don't think anything here is user error. It's just personal preference and, you know, product not really performing that well. So I always want to give you guys really good reviews that are fair and balanced and not just coming at it from a point of view like, well, it doesn't work for me, so it won't work for anybody kind of thing. But at the same time, if it does work for you, I want to hear about that too. So let me know in the comments below. And if this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So definitely hit that subscribe button. I put up new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'd love to see you around in the future. I love you guys. I hope you're being really kind to yourself, especially when you look in the mirror. That is really important. Don't speak down to yourself. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.